16 reasons why growing up in the 70s was the best. 1. We were allowed outside, without parental supervision. Even city kids were free to roam the streets. We relished that freedom. 2. We went on family road trips. The kids would pile into the back of the station wagon. We had no GPS and no digital distractions of any kind. We lived in a world without smartphones or portable DVD players. We had to make up our own car games. 3. Bowl cuts were considered fashionable. We blame Adam Rich from the TV show 8 is Enough. Every kid wanted a haircut like him. Rich kids, poor kids, everyone wore bowl cuts. 4. We rode our bikes with no extra equipment. Bike helmets were unheard of. Knee pads or shoulder pads were unknown. We just got on the bike and pedaled away. 5. Your phone calls were rarely private, but it depended on the length of your phone cord. There was no such thing as a mobile phone. Many of us had phones located in the kitchen. To avoid being overheard, we'd stretch that cord as far as it would go. 6. The bump was the only dance move we needed. It was ridiculously simple, yet felt somehow rebellious. You just bumped hips against your partner, over and over. The perfect soundtrack was KC and the Sunshine Band's Shake, 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 Shake Your Booty. 7. Mr. Rogers made the world seem safe. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was one of the best shows. It wasn't because we had no other options. Singing along with Won't You Be My Neighbor was therapeutic. It made us feel comforted. We still miss Fred Rogers. 8. Music came on vinyl and cassettes. They weren't the most user-friendly audio formats, but we loved them nonetheless. At the time, it felt like the future. Vinyl was for home listening. Cassettes were for music on the go. There were also 8-track tapes, but kids didn't use them. 9. School lunches were actually enjoyable. Sure, they weren't healthy by modern standards, but we loved them. Chili burgers, hamburgers, oven-fried chicken, buttered corn. You could get that stuff at the school cafeteria. 10. Video arcades were our temples. Obviously, we had no video games at home. You needed a quarter to play one game, so we'd get a pocket full of quarters and head to the arcade. It made the experience feel more precious. 11. We watched Star Wars with zero expectations. If you weren't there, you'll never get it. The movie truly felt like ours. 12. Junk mail was kind of fun. It was virus-free for one. 13. Jaws was the scariest movie ever made. Steven Spielberg's 1975 classic had almost no special effects. The shark only appears for a few minutes at the very end, but the effect it had on us back then was massive. An entire generation was terrified of getting into the water. 14. Shag carpeting was comfy enough to sleep on. Any true 70s kid has memories of doing snow angels on a shag carpet. There was no feeling like sinking into it. 15. Saturday mornings were reserved for cartoons. That was the only time you could watch them. We didn't have on-demand streaming 24/7. Saturday morning cartoons taught us to be patient. They taught us to be grateful for every last second of Bugs Bunny. 16. Rocks counted as pets. Pet rocks were a specific 1970s craze. We actually paid for them. Yes, it was ridiculous, but also fun.